Reading Company T1 Class 2102 was built in Reading's own locomotive shop in 1945. With drivers of 70 inches in diameter, the engine weighs 404 tons, holds up to 26 tons of coal, and up to 19,000 gallons of water. After the Reading steam era was over, the Reading Company used the 2102 for the Reading Rambles on several different excursions. The engine has had several different owners since it was retired by Reading. It is one of 4 to survive. The Blue Mountain and Northern Railroad purchased the 2102 in 1987, and the engine ran on the Temple to South Hamburg line into the early 1990s. The 2102 ran over Reading and Northern rails for a short amount of time before it was removed from service. The Reading and Northern put the 2102's counterpart, the 425, back into service in 2007. Many successful steam excursions with the 425, along with trips on the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, proved it was an ideal time to restore the 2102 for excursion service. The Reading and Northern is a for-profit corporation. The railroad's profit is invested into the steam program. The money for the 425 and the 2102 came solely from ticket sales, as no donations or government money is used for our steam program.
First thing that happened with this locomotive, when we pulled it in, it had a lot of dirt and scale in it, and it didn't have any kind of love for years. So it sat here in the shop, I don't know, 10 years maybe even a little more, 15 years. And now we're looking at trying to get it back on the railroad. And we had to do a lot of cleaning. And once we got it cleaned and got everything out of it, we get the tubes and the flues out of it, we had to start taking UT tests and deciding what we can keep and what we can lose. When it's too thin, obviously it can't support the pressure of the boiler. It has to come out. So if you look in here, if you can bring it in and look in here, if you look at the top, you still can see some squares where we did the UT, and I don't know if any numbers exist anymore, but we actually decided that these side sheets have to get replaced. Basically up to where you can see the cut line, all that's new steel there on that side sheet. And we did both side sheets. We're gonna wind up having to do a little bit here in this throat sheet up in the front. But with doing that, then we should have a boiler that's up to code and should be strong and not have any issues with leakage, hopefully. Along with putting the new steel in, we have to put the stay bolts in. The stay bolts are what holds the 2 sheets against the pressure. So every 4 inches, about 4-inch center, you have to have a bolt to hold the 2 sheets against the pressure. All these up here with all these caps, they're all flexible stay bolts, which is a sleeve, a bolt, and then a cap on top. So we're doing a heck of a lot of those. So those tubes and those flues had to come out when we did the restoration. So right now, we're putting them back in. The big ones are the flues, those hold the superheaters, and the small ones are the tubes. Those are just the 2-inch tubes that go back and forth. So that all has to get installed, and that's happening right now. We're gonna do those and just try and get to the point where we can put some water in this thing and check with the hydro, the pressure. Some additional things that happen back here, I don't know if you can see this. This is a new sheet back here. This is your rear support sheet, and this was cracked. It was terrible. Never got replaced. So while we were at it and we had everything apart, we decided that we're gonna take this apart and put this in. This has a little bit of a kick in it, you can see. So it had to be fitted in there. And also, in addition to that, we actually started working on the lubricator lines too. So we actually started running all kinds of new lines. You can see these here. All those are replaced. There's a bunch of distributing blocks in the middle of the frame. Those got replaced, cleaned, and given a little love. The other thing that's happening here is the brakes. They're getting cleaned up. They're getting new gaskets. They're getting new love. Make sure that the bores are good and that the airlines are all cleaned out. This is the reversing, power reverse right here. That's how you get the locomotive to go forward or back. All the tanks basically have to come down, get checked. And a whole other thing is on the top is that we have to actually look at the studs in the steam dome. We have to look at all the appliances on the top. All the studs got replaced. You can look at these over here. For anything that's hanging off the boiler, and what happens is this is for the ash pan. This holds the ash pan in. When you get to the point where something's old and tired, you actually have to pull the old one out, the old stud out, and we replace these. That's another nightmare job, fitting those and putting them back together and all that stuff. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much up to date what we're doing here. Send your questions to the Reading and Northern Railroad.
Many people are contributing towards the work for the 2102, full-time and part-time employees. These people contribute all of the great knowledge and hard work necessary for future preservation and operation of the steam program and railroad.
So as a kid growing up, of course, my parents took me around. We spent some time rail fanning various railroads in Pennsylvania and other places. And more specifically, spent some time in the mid-'80s at the old Blue Mountain and Reading between Temple and Hamburg. And I certainly remember both of these engines in regular service on that line. So it's really a privilege that I'm able to work here now as a grown-up and actually put some time and effort into returning 2102 to service after 25-year hiatus here. And also the ongoing maintenance on the 425, that never stops. I'd like to think the railroad's put quite a bit of time and money into this locomotive, and it runs very well for us. We try to take care of it as best as possible, and we're looking forward to doing much the same with the 2102, getting all the bugs worked out and getting a locomotive back on the railroad.
As many employees remember the 2102 and the magical impressions it left on them, those who remember are anticipating, and those who are experiencing it for the first time look forward to the excitement. If you're interested in supporting our STEAM program at the Reading and Northern, please purchase any train ticket from either the Reading and Northern Passenger Department or the Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway. For continuous updates, you can like and follow us on Facebook at Reading and Northern Railroad Passenger, or check out our website at www.readingnorthern.com.